What's up, guys? Sorry for the delay, but I just saw the what is it? Fuck. Just saw Weapons, and I think you should too. Now, FD Signifier made a post about it, and this movie actually really is easy to spoil, so I'm going to try to give a review without spoiling anything, and let's see if I succeed. Don't worry, I will. I got your back. So, this movie is from, what's his name? Hold on. Zach Cregger. I hope I'm probably not saying his name right, but he's the same guy that did Barbarian Companion. He's great at like horror satire or horror with like bits of comedy, or maybe comedy with bits of horror, whatever you want to call it. He's great at the hybrid model. To give the basic premise, this stuff you could see in the trailer. So essentially, a group of school children disappears in the middle of the night. No one forced them out. They all left at the exact same time, and they literally just like disappeared, and no one knows where they are. Yeah, so that's that. And then this is like how the town deals with it and the aftermath. Let's see, what are things I can talk about without giving the film away? The acting. Acting is superb. We have, what is this actress's name? Leah Gardner, who was in, what is the Netflix show? Ozarks, I guess, kind of breakout star from there. We have Benedict Wong, Josh Brolin. So we have a lot of, like I said, like some Austin Abrams. He was in Euphoria. So basically, this cast is a lot of actors who have the talent, they have the range. We've seen them in a lot of things, but they're still, I guess, obscure enough, maybe niche enough, whereas they're able to disappear into the role, and you're not watching the film maybe because the girl from Ozarks or because the guy from Kat's boyfriend from Euphoria is in it. You're watching it, just for the plot, just for the show, and I love that. Honestly, like the acting is so good. A lot of the actors that were like in this movie, I didn't even know until I just looked it up. I was like, oh wait, so and so was in it. So and so was in it. Okay, slay. Out of 5, because I'm really sitting here trying to think about ways the acting could have been improved. And I mean, granted, it is 5 a.m. on Wednesday morning. But yeah, I really can't think of anything. I'd say the acting was really top notch. The cinematography was great. And also, just a little tidbit on Zach Cregger. I think it's Cregger. Look, guys, I can read. I just can't speak. He's also, some of us might know him from The Whitest Kid You Know. You guys know that IFC series in like the 2010s. And basically, for those of you that don't know, The Whitest Kid You Know is like a satire comedy troupe. Think South Park, but for like maybe millennials. And it was a little, honestly, maybe because it was more niche, it was a little more out there than South Park. Like South Park was more zany and bizarre, whereas Whitest Kid You Know was like literally like the funny suburban weird kids like all got together to make a TV show, and the humor just really hit, I guess, for like the suburban crowd, and it was more, it touched on things in a less outlandish way, so it felt almost more realistic, but then also more as it was rooted in realism, it was that much more shocking. That's what I'll say.
All right, now remember, they say that 90% of all hunting accidents are caused by carelessness.
I like to say that 90% of all hunting accidents are caused by Rick.
That's not funny. Rick is our friend and he died.
What?
What is she? Is she presenting herself to us?
She is. She totally is.
Oh!
That stupid deer wants us to have sex with it.
She wants it bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right? I'd like never, ever, right?
Nah.
Right.
Yeah, he's from Whitest Kid You Know. He also has some lesser known movies like Miss March, Love and Sex, etc. And it's kind of, I'd say it's pretty inspiring to like see this person go from like an actor in like a comedy troupe to a director, and like to see like basically the quality in his movies progress. So I'd say the directing was also like 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Like literally, if you're looking at the first feature film, well, actually the first movie I've seen from him was Companion, but Barbarian came out in 2022, and again, you can see like him developing his style of flair, a almost like a genre all his own. Like I said, you can call it maybe a horror comedy, or you can call it comedy horror, you can call it maybe thriller with some comedic elements, you can call it like social satire, whatever you want to call it. I really think he's really carving a niche, and it's great to see someone that like came from a literal like a comedy troupe on like a lesser known TV channel, IFC, to someone with like feature length films. And I guess that kind of just goes to show for all of us creatives, or all of us starving artists out there, that sometimes like your first break isn't necessarily your biggest break, and you can grow as a creative. Like it's okay, like sometimes with age things do get better. Like what's another example? I think it's Rainn Wilson. The guy that did Knives Out. Oh, Rainn Johnson. Sorry. Okay, Rainn Johnson, who also, I think Knives Out came out in 2019, and then Glass Onion came out in 2022. It's like some of his best work has been in his late 40s, early 50s, and since Zach Cregger literally just turned 44 a few months ago, I think it's great to see how he's growing as a creative. So if I'd say the acting, I'd say, just because I can't think of a like critique, I'd say 5 out of 5. The cinematography was great. I will say, without spoiling it, the one thing I kind of find issue with Zach Cregger films, with the exception of Companion, is that, well, maybe even Companion a little bit, just seems to be that sometimes he's not always sure how to end his movies. So the end is all, but I mean, maybe I'm just also someone that doesn't deal with ambiguity very well, but the ends of all of his movies seem kind of like a very, very open-ended, and I think Weapons is certainly no exception, but in a good way, because in a world where everything is just reboots or sequels, or just honestly like trash dribble, what's the last Sydney Sweeney movie? This formulaic crap. What was it even called? Like Hate to Know You, or Anyone But You. I think that was the one it was called. Anyway, so rather than have movies like that, it's great to see someone like Zach Cregger create something that's like super interesting and, unique. It's honestly, a lot of his films are giving A24, but they're not A24. His affiliation. No, it's Warner Brothers. So it's like, yeah, again, so it's great to see like such a big it's such a big director. Let's see. Okay, thanks to Google, or the AI Google, sorry guys, don't get mad at me. It says that Zach Cregger, director of the horror films Barbarian and Weapons, was initially rejected by both A24 and Neon while he was trying to get Barbarian made. They passed on his initial pitch, though they are both known for distributing critically acclaimed horror films. His breakthrough film was actually distributed by Century Studios, which is under Disney, and his most recent film, Weapons, was distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. And he's set to direct a Resident Evil film under Sony. So basically, even though Zach Cregger, I feel like his style is very much A24 and Neon, those just like those sorts of production and like film houses, he was passed for both of them. And that's also maybe another little lesson for creatives. Like, don't let someone's no, even if it's like seems like it would be such a perfect fit, or it seems like, no, I know I'm talented, I know this is like a good idea, don't let their no's stop you from really pursuing your art and manifesting, creating your dream. Like, I really think that's probably a good sign for the film industry in general, that someone like Zach Cregger can get his kind of not indie enough for the indie film houses, but maybe not palatable for like mainstream audiences to like he can still, even though he's kind of in this like weird no man's land, he can still get his film made for basically a mainstream audience. Because if I'm not mistaken, Weapons has like a wide theatrical release, you know, unlike Anora or unlike a lot of the other, you know, more indie, like, you know, cool girl, cool guy films, like cool, like letterbox darlings, as, you know, as I guess some people call them. Or I just made that up, who knows. The end was a bit, the ending was a bit jarring. Again, like a little ambiguous, like left a little open to interpretation. So I kind of, maybe it's just, again, this is all subjective, I kind of want a tighter end from him in some of his upcoming films. So overall, I would give the film a 4 out of 5. Still, definitely worth the watch. Definitely check it out if you have time. So yeah, that's my review of Weapons. Please like, share, and subscribe. Love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one.
Off, get out of here! And you can have your ring back, and I want all my stuff back from your deer hole, you tramp.